Welcome to episode 5 of DB Homes for Hope, where we help you create generational wealth and go from being the distressed renter to being a confident homeowner.
I'm in my new era. I'm better in my new era. I'm better in my new.
Today's episode 5, we're going to talk about the adult report card, which is AKA the credit report credit score. Why do I call it the adult report card? Because in our society, if you have a high credit score, 650 and above, then the doors open for you. You pay less in interest. You don't normally have a security deposit, but if it's less than 650 and below, then it actually harms you. So we're going to talk about those things. There are 3 major credit reporting agencies. There is Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. But we also have this looming thing in the background called FICO. FICO is not a credit reporting agency, but it's like the overarching entity where they take collective of Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion and give you an average score. FICO even scores differently than the other 3. FICO scores go from 250 to 900, whereas the other credit reporting agencies go up to 850. So we're going to talk about, as long as you have a 650 and above, you're golden. 650 and above. And that's what we help you do here at DB Homes for Hope. So how do you get that? The first thing is paying your bills on time. So I'm going to show you this. We're going to call it a circle. It's 100%. It's a circle. 35% of that is paying your bills on time. So if you were in the classroom, the teacher was stomping her foot or his foot, it is paying your bills on time. 35% of the 100 points of this overall chart is payment history. Payment history. Essentially, you're agreeing that you made a contract with someone and you're going to pay on time. Do you hear this? You have the power to make sure that your credit score is high, working in your favor as opposed to the opposite. Pay your bills on time. That's 35%, your payment history. The second big category of this chart is 30%, and that's the amount owed. We call it the utilization. So if you looked at this as a whole cake, and I know I'm always talking about food, but it brings me joy. So if this were a cake, you don't want to eat the whole cake. You just want to eat a slice of it, because it shows that you have control, moderation. So again, you are in the driver's seat. Pay your bills on time, 35% of the credit score. Let's use an example of credit card. So if they allow you to have $10,000 on the credit card, you don't want to exceed $3,000 on that credit card. It shows that you have self-control. You're practicing, yes, I know I have another $7,000, but I'm only going to use just enough. And I'm going to take it a little further and say, pay it off every 30 days. So you're paying no interest, but you get the opportunity. I know I want your debt to be as low as possible, 43% or less. Less is definitely better. I want you ultimately to get to 0%. So when you want something, you can go get it without thinking that you have to pay interest on it. You are in control. So don't go all the way to 30%. What if you just use $1,000? Because that's what your budget, using that every dollar app that we've talked about, using that to pay it off, because that's all your budget said that you could afford for that month. Remember, we're not in competition with anybody but ourselves. We're in control. 35%, pay your bills on time. 30% utilization. That means your debt to income ratio will be way less. Then the next is a credit mix. So it could be a mortgage, student loans, but you know I don't want you to have student loans. But if you have them, we're going to pay them off. Credit cards, auto loans. You know I don't want you to have an auto loan. It depreciates, so I want you to pay it off if you have these things. But we're going to meet you where you are today. So first step, pay your bills on time. That's 35% of this 100%. The second is your amount owed, no more than 30% of your total allowable on your credit card or whatever line of credit that we're talking about. 10% is the credit mix. So it does matter if you have a bunch of credit cards and no mortgage, or only student loans. So it does matter, but look at it. It's so minuscule compared to what? Paying your bills on time. If you just paid your bills on time and kept your utilization 30% or below, and again, that's just a general rule. We want less. You would have that 650 and above credit score that I'm telling you that opens up the doors for opportunity. No security deposit or low to no security deposit, because I can't guarantee these things. It depends on whatever your electric company or whomever you're getting credit with. The next is 15% length of credit history. So it does matter. Kind of like at a job. The person who just came in, people, they respect their opinion, but they're the new kid on the block. So it does matter that you keep things for longevity. I didn't say use it all the time, but have it open so it's available. Again, it's an exercise in self-control. And then the last thing is that 10% of inquiries. So new credit, no more than 4 inquiries in a 2-year period. Sound familiar? Self-control. Self-control. Pay your bills on time for payment history, 35%. Keep the utilization down to 30%. Have a mix of credit. So if you don't have credit cards, no, I don't want you to go get them. But if you do, I want you to use them wisely. So if you were going to pay for gas, put that up there because it's already in your budget. And I know you'll be able to pay that off at the end of the month. This is just a snapshot of your adult report card. Because while in grade school, elementary, even in college, those grades matter for that period. But now you're adulting and you want to do it well. But for those of you like me, you want to make sure that it's based on the Word of God. The credit report means that you came into an agreement with someone, business, whomever, and you agreed that they were going to let you use their money for a certain amount of time, and you were going to pay it back. So we know one of the commandments is we shouldn't lie. But let's go a step further. We're good trees. We're thriving, or we want to thrive in the Word of God. This comes from Matthew 12:33. So either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt. And we don't want to be corrupt trees. We want to make sure that our word is something that someone can stand by, and his fruit corrupt, for the tree is known by his fruit. That's what the credit score is. Essentially, if it shows precedence, if we paid on time, that 35% of that 100%, we're showing that, yes, we're good trees bearing good fruit. The adverse is true as well. If we came into a contract with someone and we didn't pay on time, didn't pay consistently, essentially that's lying. That means our integrity is a little bit faulty in that scenario. So if I didn't convince you in Matthew, I'm going to go with another of the Gospels, Luke. And this is Luke 16:10. He that is faithful in which that is the least, the little things. Little things. In the overall scheme of things, this is small compared to our eternity, right? But we made an agreement. He that is faithful in that which is the least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust, unfaithful, not telling the truth, in the least is unjust also in much. So what does that mean? If we don't do well by these man-made things, we probably are not going to expand in greater things. So this adult report card, the credit score, which is on the part of the credit report, we can do well with this, and we have control. So you got money? I know you do, because with your credit score being 650 and above, you're going to open up doors. I'll tell you how on the next episode. Thank you again for tuning in to episode 5 of DB Homes for Hope. Please, if you like this information, push thumbs up and subscribe so others can see this as well. Tell a friend, connect with me. You've got the website, dbhomesforhope.com, so you too can have a 650 and above credit score. Got money? Yes, you do.